Right guys, Shay here, uneven bounce, hope you guys are well. So, it's Tuesday evening, we're a couple of days away from the second test between England and Pakistan. We've come down now to my neck of the woods, well, not too far away in Southampton. We're obviously now left Manchester, and yeah, the next two tests are going to be played here at the Ageas Bowl. So, anyway, so it's quite a bit to talk about, isn't there, regarding the two teams, especially England. Even though England obviously won the test match. Sorry, it's absolutely sweltering. I don't know where you are in the country or the world, but where I am, it was like 36 degrees. I think it was touching in Berkshire, boiling. But anyway, so yeah, apologies for looking a bit hot. Anyway, so regardless, yes, England obviously won the test match. But that being said, they've got quite a few selection issues to make through no kind of nothing down to kind of form or anything like that. Obviously, they've got the very unfortunate circumstances surrounding Ben Stokes, where I'm not sure, they haven't specified who is sick of his family, but I believe it might be his father. Obviously, he was taken ill, wasn't he, during the South Africa series? So yeah, he's obviously flew back to New Zealand. He's missing the rest of the series. Dan Lawrence had a family bereavement. Sorry to hear that for him, and yeah, he's obviously now out of the squad anyway. They haven't replaced Dan Lawrence. So yeah, Stokes out, so they've definitely got to make one change. The composition of the side, they'll have to decide on as well. The forecast is, it's actually quite a lot of showers. As I said before, it's been really, really hot over the last week or so, maybe 2 weeks actually. So it's been hitting like mid-30s down here. So we're scheduled to have some showers starting tomorrow, in fact. It's basically scattered showers and even like kind of quite heavy showers during the 5 days. Hopefully that's wrong, but it looks like we're going to have another curtailed test match. And it looks like we're going to get probably maybe 4 days maximum cricket, but obviously it didn't do us any harm last time, did it? We still had a great test match, even though there was only 3.5 days played in the first test. So yeah, I think with Ben Stokes, it all depends on what they decide to do. I mean, you would think they would probably go with Zach Crawley to come in and bat at 3, Root drops back down to 4, which I'm sure he'd be very happy to do. Yeah, so Captain Joe at 4, and then yeah, Crawley at 3. The problem is that Crawley's, he's not obviously nowhere near the batsman as Ben Stokes, obviously, but then who is? There's no one they can call up who's going to do that. But let's say they call it 3. The question is, they continue with a 5-man bowling attack. They might decide to go. I think they probably will. I don't think they would have if Stokes is available, because I think he's okay to bowl now, what he's shown that on that 4th day of the first test match. So I think that Stokes, he won't. I've seen him Stokes. Sorry, I think Wokes will continue at 7. The question is about the 5 bowlers. We call it 3. I think we'll see the 5 bowlers there. So I think England do like that kind of 5-man attack as opposed to 4. I think the main question marks are going to be surrounding Jimmy Anderson. Obviously, he's come out, with kind of not all guns blazing, but he's obviously quite irked at the fact that, every time he has a bad game, which he obviously did, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it went to like 3.5 and over across both innings altogether. It wasn't that bad. A test match for him, but he's not really performing at his best, has he? So let's say they drop Jimmy. Who do they bring in now? People on the sidelines, they brought in Ollie Robinson, fresh from his 8 for last week against Kent. 8 in the match. They brought Ollie Robinson to the squad with a view to potentially playing, actually, and not just being part of the kind of reserves. They actually brought him to the squad with a view to him playing. You've got Sam Curran there, and you've got Mark Wood, which no one really seems to talk about anymore. I said in my last video about on the review video about on the first test, I said about Jofra Archer, and that whether they need to see what you want to do with him. What does he want? What do they want from him? If they want the X factor, they want someone to give him a kind of raw pace, then for me, Mark Wood should be in contention for selection. I think Mark Wood can do a good job for England still. I do, even at home. I know his test record's not very good at home, but I think he can do a good job, and he will, and for a fact he'll be giving you a raw, aggressive pace. He won't be coming in looking for line length at 83, 84 miles an hour. He will give you that raw aggression. If you bring Ollie Robinson to replace Anderson, then you've still got Broad and Wokes there, who obviously performed superbly well in the past couple of test matches. lost 3 test matches, abroad. Because he actually had a good game. It was, not really discussed that much. He had a very solid game, didn't he? Took a few wickets, scored a few runs at first innings against Pakistan. But obviously, Woakes was fantastic. But I think if Robinson comes in and then Wood comes back, I mean, Robinson, Wood, Broadham, Woakes, and obviously Dominic Best, I think, who will retain his place. I don't think Jack Leach will play. I don't think Jack Leach will play even a third test, unless Best gets absolutely smashed. The problem is that Jack Leach hasn't played for ages, and that to bring him in, say, for a third test, it might be quite harsh, to say, okay, we'll just pick up, straight away and, land him on a sixpence. I think it's unfair. I think, I think that Best will play the remainder of the summer, the test match summer. So, yeah, I mean, back to the Jimmy Anderson conundrum. I think because they've lost Stokes, I have a feeling they might retain him because they've lost Ben Stokes there, and someone they can rely on with the Boswell's bat. They might just be tempted to keep him. They might be tempted to keep Jimmy in. I'm not sure. I'd like to see Mark Wood, to be honest. I wouldn't be completely against Sam Curran playing. I don't know. My team personally, I'd go with Zach Crawley in for Stokes. I would rest Jimmy, and I'd probably bring in Mark Wood. I know Archer and Wood play together and do very well together in that first test against West Indies, but I would probably bring in Wood because I like Broad, Woakes, Archer and Wood. I like that, but I wouldn't want Archer to play that fast medium line length seamer. I'd still want him to play raw and aggressive. If that's going to jeopardise that, compromise him playing the kind of aggressive role, then I want to see Ollie Robinson and Woakes, Broad and Wood. I think Wood's fresh and he will give you 90 miles an hour consistently, and I think from the Pakistani batsmen, especially the tail enders, they will find that very hard to cope with. So yeah, but it's really hard to decide what they're going to do. I do expect some turn again down in Southampton. We need more from Dominic Best going into this match. We really do. He needs to really work on his lengths. He's bowling too many 4 balls. That's the problem. He's given them that out, and that release of pressure too often, and they can get. You can't get them under his spell. You can't get them under the pump, and that's what a quality spinner does over long spells in these conditions. And then you can look about taking wickets, but you can't see that consistency in his line length, which obviously then batsmen are able to kind of settle themselves and score fairly frequently off him, and that's a problem. That is a problem, So yeah, hopefully you get a better performance from him. I think that'd be a side. I mean, Jack Crawley. I actually think if Dan Lawrence was available, I think Lawrence might have been in the shout of making his debut. I think they like Lawrence, and I think after seeing Zach Crawley, for some reason Zach Crawley, I think he's averaging like 26 only at test level, but he seems to have something about him. But I still feel like there's still enough question marks as there as well, to kind of temper any potential that he may have to go on and have a great test career. I feel like there's still a few clouds around him where he can succeed. It's 50-50, isn't it? It feels like with him. So I think Dan Lawrence might have gotten a nod because they like him. Obviously performed very well in Australia with the Lions. They will in the warm-up game as well. He might have got a nod. That being said, he knows out of the squad. I don't see James Bracey as the other kind of reserve batsman coming in. I mean, I'm not counting Ben Foakes and dropping the gloves. James Bracey I don't think will play this series at all. So we'll see how happens with Zach Crawley. But yeah, anyway, that's I think he will play. How he goes, let's wait and see. I wouldn't mind, even though I was against this initially because I said that he's obviously an open, he should bat top 3 minimum. I wouldn't mind Pope going to 4, Root, Pope, Crawley at 5, maybe to give Crawley the opportunity to kind of build himself and learn. And I mean, I shouldn't be learning over the test arena, but take a little bit of pressure off him, by maybe putting him at 5 and then having Butler behind him at 6. That could be an option. But yeah, just wait and see how the composition of the team with Pakistan. I guess it depends how the fast bowlers pull up. We'll see how they get on. I think they'll probably. I don't think they'll play Sahil Khan. He might get to go on the third test, but I think they might go in the same team, even though they're obviously bowling in that final day. As only 4 days rest, I think they might go on the same team. You haven't played cricket obviously since international cricket since February, so against Bangladesh. So I think that they should be okay. Hopefully, Shah, Abbas, and Afridi. Yasir Shah obviously will play. Shadab Khan, I think he'll play. I think Misbah came out and said he's a very attractive package to have as part of the setup. So I think he obviously likes him. So I think Shadab will play. Fawad Alam is the one obviously that you think, okay, could he squeeze himself in? Obviously he's got a phenomenal, I think the best first class record ever in Pakistan. A really, really solid player. He played 11 years ago, he's got 100, didn't he? But just hasn't had obviously his face doesn't fit, does it, with Fawad Alam? But he could come in, maybe Azhar Ali could open, drop Abid Ali, and then move everyone up, or Fawad Alam bats at 3, possibly. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. I mean, we might do that. I think the ball and attack remain the same. It's just a trio, isn't it? I'm not sure about Sahil Khan. I don't think he'll play this match. So yeah, I think that's how Pakistan will probably line up. I think Fawad Alam will be the only change I feel to the team. Even though Pakistan lost, I still feel a lot less question marks around who they should go in with. Probably because they got just by default less options. Where obviously England got much more. So Ali Robinson could come into the setup. He might play. And to be fair, how much do Pakistan know about Ali Robinson? I guess Mohammad Abbas could inform them a fair bit, but he's be a bit of an unknown quantity, won't he, Ali Robinson? And I actually like him, and I think it'd be quite interesting to see how he'd do in an England Test shirt. So yeah, I'm going to go for. I said England will win the series 2-1, but without Stokes. I'm going to go for the problem is the rain. I'm going to go with a Pakistan victory in this one. I think either draw because of the rain or a Pakistan win. I feel like I said before, previous to the first test, that Babar Azam was not the only guy. If he fails, there's other batsmen who can step up, and that's what happened with Shah Masood. Even Shadab Khan made a 40 odd, didn't he? I feel like they got something to prove, and I feel like even though they lost the test match, it was extremely close. And can Chris Woakes score another 80 at 7? I don't know if that's possible. Maybe, but quite possibly not, based on the last 2 years. He might go and get a couple of single digit scores, So I'm going to go for a Pakistan win in this one. Yeah, pain me to say, but I am. And one thing I should have said before, just a quick tidbit on this. I'm not obviously a Pakistan fan, I'm an England fan, as you can see, but one of my favourite sites in international cricket has been since day dot. Since I had the VHS tape of Imran's Tigers in the 92 World Cup win. Imran's Tigers, I love that video, I used to watch it all the time as a kid. One of my favourite sites in international cricket is it can be a Pakistani fast bowler running in with a team chirping, tails up, energy just booming, and just gunning for the batsman, like the batting team's under the pump massively, and they're just running in. And I think we might see that. We might see that sight in this Test match. So yeah, we'll see. I think Pakistan might have adjusted now to the conditions. Obviously acclimatised. They've obviously got 4 days under the belt, and I think they'll come out hard in this Test. And I think they might just nick it. So we'll see. Especially without Ben Stokes, I think that's a problem. And Joe Root's obviously not in really great form either. And I'll do a video on that as well, about his problems he's having at number 3. But anyway, that's it from me, guys. Yeah, hopefully you have a great Test starting Thursday. If you enjoy the content, please share it. People that you think might like this video or some of the videos that I've done. Obviously I'm following predominantly England, South Africa to a certain extent as well, and my teams obviously are Surrey and the Dolphins in South Africa. Yeah, so if you enjoy a bit like content, do do share it, like the video if you do. Yeah, if you enjoy it, do like it, and comment. So always throw me a comment, that'd be great, and also subscribe. All right, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.